you can't live life without understanding the song Everybody Loves the Sunshine.
Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. And you guys, if you rock with me every Monday, you know what I do. But if you're new to my platform, please join, subscribe, and find out what Message Reveal is all about. Well, you guys, I have a special guest. A special guest. It's my brother. But before I tell you some things about him, I want to just encourage you all to keep an open ear and really enjoy this episode. It's new, it's different. It's something that him and I decided to do. So before I go down that long road, let me just tell you something about my brother. One, he's a native of Las Vegas. Yes, we big up our natives of Las Vegas. Number two, he's a father, he's a husband, and he's the world's greatest uncle. So, we love that. And last, but definitely not least, he is also he manages and support a nonprofit here in Las Vegas, and we'll definitely find out a little bit more about that. You guys, he was on my first episode. He was on my first season. He is now on my second season, and I'm just going to put it out there. Every season I have, I'm going to ask him to come on. You guys, please, please, please put your hands together and welcome my brother, ARRICK from
Thank you, sis. It's a pleasure to be back on your platform, sharing our moments together.
Yes. And for those that don't know, check out episode number 37, my first season, and you'll get a chance to find out why I keep bringing him back.
Well, it's an honor and a privilege, to be on such an illustrious program and platform that you have, sis. You have been growing leaps and bounds, and your guests have been wonderful. I've learned a lot from your interviews, and it's been inspiring. And I'll always be supporting you. I'm always support you.
I appreciate you. And I love you, my brother. You just can't get away from me. How about that?
Well, I don't have on no track shoes from you, so barefoot. We barefoot.
So, before we get started, we have a special episode. My brother and I, we had a couple of conversations, and we both love music so much. But in addition to music, we know the connection with music is also movies. So we wanted to talk about soundtracks of movies that we can share stories, fun moments, and just share with you. But before we get started, I would like my brother to talk about his nonprofit organization that he manages and support, just so anyone in the future would like to tap in or support him in any kind of way. I want the words to come out of your mouth. So can you just tell us a few things about what you have going on?
Absolutely. So the organization that I'm a part of, that I'm the chairman of, is called the Elite Alumni Group. And it spawned from a group of men that grew up in the community as youth that were part of an organization called the Kappa Leadership League, the guidance of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And we spoke a little bit about this last season. One of our dear brothers, comrades, Dr. Michael Garrett Bombay, Dr. Bombay is what we call him, passed away. And when we met at his funeral, it was close to about 600 of us that met at his funeral. And it's really 1,200 plus of us that's going through the program. And as we, got together for his funeral and we were honoring him, we sat down collectively and said, hey, we've gone through all of these walks of life as grown men. Some of us gone to college, some of us haven't. Some of us have pledged fraternity, some of us haven't. But we all are in our various communities just trying to shine the light that Brother Dr. Bombay and the illustrious and honorable Dr. Lawrence Larry Weekly poured into us. And we said, you know what, we can actually pick up the baton of our fallen brother and continue the work in the community. Because if anybody knew Michael Garrett, he was a very jovial person. There's nothing that was going on in the community that if you asked for his support, he would not break his leg or give his left arm to help contribute or be a part of. I don't care if it was a funeral. I don't care if it was a wedding. I don't care if it was a graduation. I don't care if it was my socks got hole in it and I needed new socks. No, no matter what it was, he gave until his final breath. And
Yes.
so the Capital Leadership League organization nationally, every chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi has a charter for a Kappa Leadership League for youth in their communities to help guide right. And so in Las Vegas, it's called the Elite chapter. So our brothers collectively said, well, what do we want to do? What's the goal and purpose of the inspiration of what we were poured into and what we want to pour out? And we say we want to, not only contribute back to where we came from, but once again, people like Marzette Lewis, people like Wendell Williams, people like Eddie Taylor, people like Marsha and Dave Washington, people like um, uh, um, uh, uh, Lou Collins. A lot of people poured into us in various ways, from the Martin Luther King Committee on down. Even Frank Hawkins, when he was running elections, having us do things for him where he actually contributed and poured into us as well. So in a nutshell, we came up with the Elite because that's the Elite chapter. And we're alumni because we've all graduated from it, and we're a group of men. And there's over 1,200 of us. So we've come together and started a charity nonprofit so that way we can give back to the community in terms of just pouring into. So we've done things like tree dedications to Michael Garrett, but we want to plant trees around the city. And once again, we've taken so much from it, we want to plant and put back in it. We've done, endowment funds, scholarship funds. And I'm very particular with using the word endowment because scholarship is for scholastic purposes. That means you're going to school, but there's a lot of youth that may not want to go to school. They may not want to go to college.
Excuse me, sir, I have a pause moment. You know how I do. A
Mm-hmm.
pause moment. And the reason why I did that, you said something that's so, so very important and near and dear to my heart. It is not one way to success.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to identify, you and the committee to identify that is not only for school, it's some great scholars out there that are going other ways and it's not always to school. So thank you for identifying and talking about that because it's very needed.
Yes, and for charities and nonprofits that are out there, when you're raising funds for things, and you call it a scholarship, the IRS and legally you have to use it for a scholarship. But that's why words are important. That's the difference between, not to get off on a tangent.
No, don't say your stuff.
Well, but that's the difference between reparations and restitution.
Mm.
There's organizations and people that have gotten restitution from being wrong. Whereas if you use the word reparations, it's viewed in another way. And I see an example for scholarship versus endowment. Endowment means we're endowing you with the ability or with the funds or whatever, or the support to be able to go on and do what you need to do. So we want to call it an endowment. So that way, if we have a young person that may want to have a entrepreneurial spirit and, starting a business in X, Y, and Z, we can still help contribute and support that. It doesn't have to always be scholastic. So we've given out scholarship, but now we've pivoted that to an endowment and raising funds from that. And so as far as community goes, we one of our fallen brothers, Virgil Hurd, had a program called Bike, which is believing in kids excelling. We're taking that program up in the very near future, God willing. We've we've done various things, but the biggest thing is you have a group of men that actually support one another. You know, there's very often men don't have something that they can relate to, that they can conjoin with and actually have any kind of movement with. So we're an organization that's reminded not only within ourselves to be there for one another, because we're in various walks of life. You know, some of us are in the tech field, some of us are lawyers, some of us are actually congressmen, like Steve Horsford. He was in the Kappa League. You know what I mean? So he benefited from this organization. Ricky Barlow, you know what I mean? He's was a leader in our community. He was in the Kappa League. And those are just two names, but you have various people that have gone through our organization to become, you know, doctors. You know, Joseph Thrower in Chicago right now, a doctor. You know, lawyers. We have various people, once again, of all walks of life, even business people. So once again, we're an organization of resource as well. And what we want to do is tap into our various resources that came from this community and give back to it. Whether
Yeah.
you made it as a professional athlete, or whether you made it, or once again, you're just a humble servant of the Lord, and you're just, you know, in the community doing right by your family, doing right by the people who you love, and you're walking, you know, in the as righteous as a path as you can. Everyone has something, you know.
Yeah.
This organization is the collective of that to try to give out in the community, and that's who we are.
I love that. I still want to just circle back and talk about the piece about men having support of other men.
Yeah.
I've talked about this on my platform many times. I've had men express that. And I think that's something that we have to continue to bring up so we can elevate that energy of men supporting men on multiple levels. Women, we have it there. I call 5 girlfriends right now and they get on the line. They're like, yes, girl, this. But men, I don't know, sometimes because maybe their pride,
Mm-hmm.
sometime because they may feel like they're not a man if they express some needs they have. I don't know. I'm not a man. All I can say, I celebrate you for bringing various walks of life together to contribute to our community. So,
Absolutely. It's a continuation. We were poured into, so it's our duty to pour out. You know, that's Proverbs, really. You know what I mean? As they say, too much, to whom much is given, much is required. So we can say that all day long, but how do we put it in principle? How do we put it in action?
yeah.
And that's the things the organization says. So I'm just as 2 examples, what we've done recently this year. You know, I myself, I have natural hair, I have locks. And that hairstyle, this hairstyle is becoming very popular, of an expression. And you hear a lot of kids, you know, call them dreads and things as such. So we developed a program with Bobby Mullins of Raw Remedy, who was one of the Black property owners in downtown Las Vegas, and partnered with her and the recently, I think they're about a year now, but Fin and Feather out of Atlanta, a Black
Right
restaurant.
across the street, right?
So we partnered with both of them, and we created a program called Locks to Learn. So, you know, when you say you have lots to learn, we have locks to learn. And we started it with the young man, because even in the organization that we help mentor as a side mentorship, over 60% of the young men have locks in their head. And when I asked them about what is it, why do you have that hairstyle? What's your journey? Most of them had no real clue of history of it or what it's about. So partnering with someone who does that for a living, who embodies the energy of what that history is, and they also, with Raw Remedies, they have a bookstore, uh,
Yes.
called Analog Dope Bookstore, and to be able to have them learn about locks, see a Black owner of a facility based in that, and then how they spawn that into a bookstore, and then doing business with a restaurant where they can be fed and see the success of all of these facets. And some of these people are people that have hair like you, that understand they've had their challenges, and just what it means to be knowledgeable of who you are, what this comes from, the power in it. Having programs like that, and once again, we're going to span that out to various organizations in the community as well. Once again, we talked about the endowments and not everyone's going to college. One of my board members, Greg Allen, he's also an author, but he's a electrician with a prominent construction company, and so he developed a program to teach the youth electrician trade. So he has classes on Saturdays teaching the same young men about the trade of being a journeyman in the electrician phase. So that way they can actually have some sort of a certificate before they even graduate from high school. So if they choose to go that direction, they already have knowledge of it and a platform and a plateau to go into. So
Wow.
these things that we're channeling through our organization, that we're saying we want to walk it like we talk it. We understand there's a multitude of need, but we want to try to meet it everywhere we can. And honestly, we've supported other organizations. That's the other key part. There's so many organizations doing so many things, and it's so hard for charities, nonprofit, and organizations to make movements into the things that they want. And one universal thing, it seems as if it's everybody say support, 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 whether it's financial, whether it's people doing the work, whether it's people spreading the word, people contributing. Support is one of the biggest elements that an organization can have. So another principle for Elite Alumni Group is to be the support in which we want to have for ourselves. So we want any organization that needs particular support. And once again, everybody has their own thing going off, but we support other organizations too, because we know how that feels. We were once these youths in the community that needed the support, and we got it. So we want to also have that as a principle.
I love that. And I'm glad that you were able to come onto my platform and talk about these things. And whoever has the opportunity to view this gives them a catalyst to say, hey, if I'm not personally able to do something, can I send? Because some people only can do a financial, like I don't have the time, but
Right.
let me give you $1,000 donation and you can do what you need to do with that. So I'm saying on all levels, try to support it in some way, in some form, whether it's financially, whether it's in kind, whether it's donating your time, whatever it is. And I love the fact that you guys are also willing to support other organizations.
Absolutely. It's recognizing that we all have something to give,
Mhm.
how little it is. And if you think that you have nothing to give, that means you're really not giving yourself fully what you should.
Come
So,
on.
once again, if you have it rocking inside, let a little bit of that rocking come outside. And if
Come on.
outside, that's almost an indication to me that you're not rocking inside.
Okay.
You almost got to have a balance to a degree. You can't hoard all the resources. You can't hoard all good. It's not meant for that. Life is
Yeah.
not.
But if you really are connected, everything is circular. It is so whatever you put out with the highest intentions, baby, is coming back. And
Oh
you
yeah,
don't do it expecting it. It's just a elevation and a circular process that will always come back to you. That's the way I believe.
absolutely. We are in it. We are a people of innate trait. There's things that we are born with. We are born to be loving. We are born to be communal. We are born to be collective. We are born to be sharing. We are born to be intuitive with one another. Those things that are opposite of that are things that we have learned or we have accumulate through environment. Sometimes you have to shed. Is like one of the movies we're going to talk about, which is Higher Learning. One of the biggest things was to unlearn what you've learned. And we have to do that in multiple facets in our community. Sometimes we have to unlearn what we've learned so that we can come into knowledge of something new.
You know what? I couldn't I couldn't segue out of this with a better way. You're absolutely right. And I can continue talking about that, but guess what? We'll have you on again and we'll talk about more of that perspective because that is right. And I do agree with you 100%. But we're going to transition and we're going to talk about music. You know, I love music. Music has turned me all the way out in a great way.
Huh?
And I say all of that. Let's just talk about two people that have transitioned and they have given us some beautiful, beautiful elevated music. One is Roberta Flack, and our other person is
The other person is Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers.
Roy Ayers, and we just want to honor them, and we're blessed to be able to hear what they produce, what they gave to the world, and it will be forever rotating on a high vibration, and we honor them for that. If you can just talk a little bit, we talked about our pre-interview. We have pre-interview where we're jamming and talking, but you talked about Roy Ayers, and I talked about searching, 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 and you said,
I said, you can't live life without understanding the song Everybody Loves the Sunshine, or Sunshine is the name of the song. So that is Sunshine is just as prominent as Golden Time of the Day by Frankie Beverly and Maze.
yes.
You know what I mean? Songs that touch your spirit, touch your inner vibration, to tune you into your creator. Everybody Loves the Sunshine is one song that definitely resonates.
Yes.
So definitely, but Roy Ayers has a catalog. Just as a quick sharing, I was fortunate enough to see Roy Ayers perform live. Remember when Prince had his club at the Rio?
Yes.
Roy Ayers was performing, and I went to the concert to see Roy Ayers perform. And lo and behold, Prince came out.
What?
And performed with Roy Ayers on stage at that performance.
Oh, you got a two for amazing time.
Yes, I am very fortunate because I never got a chance to see Roberta Flack live. And some artists I really regret not seeing live. Roberta Flack is one because her catalog and her influence is just phenomenal. Luther Vandross, I had a chance to go see him and never did. I hate that I never got the chance to see Luther Vandross. Maurice White, when he was a part of Earth, Wind, and Fire, I never got a chance to see him do his thing as a founder of such a prominent group that, you know, has impacted all of our lives. But I made sure I went to see Roy Ayers when I got the chance. So I'm very grateful I did, with Prince as a bonus. Yeah.
That is amazing. And one thing, as you were talking, the Spirit gave me, which I think why his music is so elevated, the xylophone. And how he has mastered that when you go da 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 da. I mean, I may not be doing it no disservice, but that energy dwells within me.
It's harmony. The artists that we identify with the most, the songs have had a way of having a harmonious collectiveness that vibrates in us. Yeah. And the xylophone, in which Roy Ayers performed off, is nothing but vibration. Nothing but, you know what I mean? I Gotta Find a Lover is one of my other favorite Roy Ayers songs. Running is another one of my favorite songs of Roy Ayers. Run, run, run. Like a lot. That's more old school than the other ones.
But that's okay.
But you know, he has a tremendous catalog of not only his own, but the things that he's done with other people. So that man has been immensely talented, and God rest his soul.
Yeah, and it's timeless. And you know, I'll mention one other person, Erykah Badu. She redid, or she did a version of his where she took his stuff and just took it to the next level. So we really thank him for what he contributed on multiple levels. The highest level that we can say thank you, we say thank you to him for what he's done.
And side note, not only Roy Ayers, not only Roberta Flack, but God bless the Queen Angie Stone as well. Bless your soul, Angie Stone. She has a song that actually brings me to emotions. It's called More Than a Woman. She has a duet with the brother. I forget his name right now, but the song is talking about how a woman holds a man down, and the man showing appreciation for all that she's done for him. And he's telling her, you're more than a woman to me. And it makes me a member of my grandmother, my wife, my daughter, my nieces, like all the women who who pour my sister, everybody who that's a woman that contributes to making me who I am, is like that song is very instrumental to me in a walk. But brother, I mean, you know, Angie Stone has a catalog all her own.
Oh, absolutely. Think about seems you're much too busy for me,
You,
and I can't stand it. Seems you're much too busy for me.
I mean, man, Angie Stone is. I mean, even
When she started rapping with the group originally.
yeah, back in the late 70s. You know what I mean? Like but the things that she's gone through, you know, and once again, she helped spawn the career of D'Angelo, you know, with Brown Sugar, the influence that she had on that. That's one of our biggest classics.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? Like just everything that that woman has done has been not underrated to me. She's not unsung, she's sung, but
Yes.
not completely appreciated to me as she should as a songwriter and as an influence.
Well, I believe over time people will discover more. And if we can just transition, I just want to make note regarding Roberta Flack. Um, she was a singer and a pianist.
Mm-hmm.
She also contributed to the birth, and a lot of people don't know, of Quiet Storm with songs The First Time
Mm-hmm.
Ever I Saw Your Face. I mean, that song is so beautiful. Or Killing Me Softly, which Lauryn Hill redid, and Feel Like Making Love. I mean, it goes on and on. So I would encourage people, when they have a chance, to sit around, to dive deep and listen to some of her beautiful songs that are absolutely timeless as well.
Absolutely. She has the she has her own, but I mean the stuff she's done with Donny Hathaway. I mean, it's incredible the music the two of them made, and I hate that he lost his life tragically, you know, too early. But once again, it just goes to show how life is. He birthed one of the most beautiful artists out there, Layla Hathaway,
Yes.
contributing his legacy and keep it on. But yeah, you uh their duets, Donny Hathaway, Where's the Love? Come
Yeah.
on now.
That's right. Where is the love? You
Where
said you'd give to me soon as you were free. Was it just I forget the rest of it.
so many times too, but you know, it's they have definitely left a legacy. Every artist we're talking about that has recently passed have left something for us to continue in our journey to our higher selves, and I appreciate them for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You talking that good stuff that I like, that ear candy. He said our higher selves. And we keep talking about what we have to do internally so we can bring it forward. And as I say on this platform all the time, take care of you, make sure you're good, and you can cast your net out and help any and everybody else. So let's get into our movie soundtracks.
All right, let's hit it. Let's hit it.
So, you being a guest, I'm going to let you start with your first selection. We have 4 selections each. So, I'll let you start with your selection, sir.
Okay, well, considering we ended it on Roberta Flack and how such a gifted musician she was, an artist she was, I'm going to start with what I consider as one of the start to finish, top to bottom, thorough, great Black movie soundtracks.
Woo!
Is in honor of women is Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, yes.
Waiting to Exhale. I mean, once again, it was spearheaded by the great Babyface. You know, let's give the man his just due. But it wouldn't matter what he said and what he thought if those women on that album did not embody and just vocalize and just put down every single song from Patti LaBelle to Shaka Khan to Aretha Franklin's.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, just everybody, TLC's, You know, SWV, Whitney Houston, and CC. Like,
Yes.
there's every song. I challenge somebody to tell me what song on that soundtrack isn't good.
Well, you know what? I just recently, if you don't mind me jumping in,
Mm-hmm.
I just recently saw on R&B Money podcast. Shout out to one day I want you guys to come on to my podcast, but Shantae Moore,
Yeah.
she was given a just an instrumental version that Babyface gave her, and you go da 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 da. I can't really do it, but it's beautiful and it kind of sets the atmosphere. But
Yes, that movie came out in what, 1995. I was transition. I think when that movie came out, I was in Prairie View A&M in college, and that and another one of my favorite movies, A Higher Learning, came out in '95. But I think that was before I was at Prairie View. But in 1995, when that movie came out, everybody was on. Black authors were starting to get a little prominence at that time, and so Waiting to Excel was off of Terry McMillan's, of course,
yes,
a book, and I think I can't say if that was her third or fourth book.
I think
Um,
it was the third.
the third or fourth book that they turned into a movie. And once again, that's just the start, because she's had, you know, another movie, you know, Stella Got a Groove Back was turned
Yes,
into a movie as well. But just it just goes to show that Babyface as a man was so in tune with his feminine that he was able to bring out the beauty in all of those women in their talents.
yes.
No one song is like the other at all.
And each song represent each woman and how they operate.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And so for me,
Uh,
um,
your camera went off.
all right, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Yes.
For me, um, it's you have to give credit where it's due, and it, just as a man, once again, and especially in these times where, you know, one discredits the other. You know, men are trying to discredit what women do. Women, you know, try to devalue what men do. I think that is just a beacon of what it looks like when men and women work together for a
Yes.
good. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And that's why I have to put that as my top. And honestly, Aretha Franklin, sometimes it hurts. So what was the song? I think it's her. Wait, hold up. What's the name of that Aretha Franklin song?
Sometimes it
It like
hurts.
it hurts.
Yes.
It hurts like hell. That's the name of the song. Because and of all the things Aretha Franklin went through in her life, she bodied that song. I mean, everybody did their thing, but she bodied that song.
Yes, yes. Um, I think that's such a great example of multiple women working together on film, in soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, a man really tapping in to be able to connect with the feminine side and really make this is timeless.
Mm-hmm.
It is timeless. What year did the movie come out?
1995.
Okay, and we're in what?
2025. So
And
this
it's still relevant.
30 years. 30.
Still relevant. Come
Yeah,
on now. So
absolutely. But you know what? To me, that's also indicative as a man to say, look what can happen if you tap into your own divine feminine, into a woman's divine feminine as
yeah,
well. And look at the greatness that can come of it if we can put once again, these are all women that are prominent in their thing. They had to put egos aside and take direction. But once they knew they could, Babyface had to be trusted in order for it to work.
okay, say that again, sir.
Babyface had to be trusted for it to work. But see, that trust wasn't just given; he earned it.
There you
And
go.
all of those women are those who submitted to that trust, and look what came out of it. You know what I mean? So there's lessons to be learned even within that soundtrack.
You talking some good stuff
Yeah.
because earning of the trust,
Hmm.
and we women and men will naturally do it if we know that it's the right tone, is the right cadence for the highest elevation, meaning the family, the community. We will do it, but it
Yeah.
has to be of balance.
It has to.
So
And just imagine if because Tony Braxton is on that too. Let It Flow. That's a
yes,
old songs on there too. But he did so much work with Tony Braxton specifically. Let's just say on there. Imagine if Tony was like, "I'm not doing it if you only do it for me. I gotta be the only one." And not allow that gift to be where she like, all of my sisters can contribute to this. Babyface, do your thing for Shaka, do your thing for Whitney, do your thing for TLC, for Brandy. You know what I mean? Do your thing for,
yes.
so we all can glow. Not selfish minded with it. You know what I mean? Or even in his instance, like, oh, I can't do nothing with them. No, he's like, I can do something for all y'all. Watch me
I,
work.
I love that. I think even though we're talking about music, it
Mm-hmm.
is a representation of life and
Mm-hmm.
behavior and how we should work collectively together. So
Absolutely.
I love that. I thank you for that. Is there anything else you would like to contribute to your first movie soundtrack song?
What outside of the movie itself, once again, I was young when that movie came out. um I had aunts, and I've heard stories, uh but the challenges of the woman's want and need for love, and the trials and tribulations that women go through to try to nurture and expand the love that's inside of them, and only wanting somebody to see them, respect them, and help them fulfill that love, and how it can be betrayed, how it can be manipulated, how it can be encouraged, how it can be grown. It's so many different themes in that movie. Um, but the overall theme was for women, y'all, you're so much stronger if you band together.
Um, Say that one more time, sir.
every one of those women's weakness was each other's strength. You're
Ah,
so much stronger when you band together.
yes, yes, yes. I agree. I did not look at it. Takes this man sitting across from me to give me that perspective, but you're absolutely right. I
Yeah,
love it.
Carrie McMillan did her thing with that book. She did her,
Yeah,
and they did it justice with the movie.
yes, definitely that. Definitely that. Well, I'm gonna give my my movie. It's an oldie but goodie,
Okay.
but it will never go out of style.
Okay.
And the movie I'm referring to is Coolie High.
Hi. Yeah, hi.
And the movie came out in 1975, and it's really a movie about teenagers, or teenagers in particular, having their last year of school, high school, and like just exploring like the bad, the good, the women, just all those things. And I just love how it was put together.
Mm-hmm.
So the song that I chose for this particular one, that anytime I hear it, it makes me think about this particular. We know the song "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday." That
Mm-hmm.
what's their name? Not New Edition. Boys to Men redid, but the one I'm referring to, I feel like it does not get enough light. Is what's the song? I have to look at my notes.
Huh?
Um, I apologize.
You talking
Um,
about the version?
excuse me.
You're talking about the original version?
No,
Version?
I'm talking about the song that I'm gonna give it to you right now. I don't know what I did with it, but okay, I'll say this. At the very end of the movie, when they were having the funeral service. And Preach did not go. And I guess it was just too hard. This is my perspective. It was too hard to be with everybody. He kind of just sat in the distance and he waited for everyone to leave. And then he came to the gravesite of Cotis and he had a conversation with him, just kind of expressing his heart the way he could. Like, hey, you know, you could have been the greatest. But at the very end of the movie, when he took off running with his backpack and you hear, I'll be there.
Four Tops.
Yes.
Four
yes.
Tops.
Yes. I thought that I'll be there. And I thought I had the lyrics to the song. It says this. Now you feel that you can't go on because all your hope is gone and your life is filled with confusion until unhappiness is just an illusion. Reach out for me and I'll be there.
Yes.
I think that is absolutely beautiful and it was a great way to end the movie. But when I hear the song, it reminds me of the movie.
It, you know, the poignant part of that part of the movie that you're speaking of, or the symbolism is everybody at that funeral was expecting Preach to be there and he wasn't, and he let them down. But right when you got the body out, you see how the boy was looking out the window and saw him running?
Yes.
Like, you may not understand it or know it and see it, but don't count people out. You think that they don't care, you think they're not aware, you think they're not a part of, but there they go right in the distance, trying to catch up and let y'all know, like, I'm here with you still. So
yes,
I got from that particular part of the movie.
And not only that, too, some people have to release the way they know how.
Yes.
And that was his way. He needed to have that intimate moment. And I don't think it would have been really intimate if it would have been with the group, because he was sharing his heart with him one-on-one. So I just love that. The lyrics of the song, I don't think the Four Tops get their credit for what they've done with that song. Also, it has been two other individuals that have redid that particular song. Diana Ross has a version, and Gloria Gaynor.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know Gloria Gaynor had a version.
Yes. When I was looking up, I found out about that. So, Cooley High, 1975, and that's my soundtrack song, my first soundtrack song.
Okay.